Hello everybody, I make another small video today. I try to keep it small this time round, for real. Yeah, Sunday, enjoy your Sunday, blessed Sunday to all of you. What's the news? The genocide is continuing in Palestine. In Germany, the German state and the police, they cracked down on a conference, on a pro-Palestinian conference, heavily. Is it yesterday, 2 days ago? Yeah, I put some links down in the description. Anyway, they went again so far as to arrest Jewish activists who speak up against genocide, like Germany 2024. That's the point we are at. What is happening in the Israel? They are continuing to escalate, which is foreseen, because what else can they do? I mean, a racist apartheid system lives through violence. What else? Especially such a openly genocidal government and leadership. They don't have anything else, so they'll continue to escalate. Now towards Iran, it makes me think on the book of Zbigniew Brzezinski. I don't know if I pronounce his name well. May he reside in justice. You find his book as an audiobook on YouTube. The English title is The Grand Chessboard. He wrote it in 1997. And in this book, he lays down US-American geopolitical strategy. Like, it is the plan to keep global hegemony, global geopolitical supremacy. Yeah, the plan, what needs to be done to run the world, to rule the world geopolitically. The United States of America as the single geopolitical power in the world. And of course, that's what they're trying ever since. It's white supremacy, the white Wild West. Whiteness should rule over everybody and over everything. Racist exploitation, colonial exploitation and murder, and it's all in that logic. So the plan that Brzezinski lays out, you can listen to the audiobook. Okay, I put the title in the description, then you will find it. You will find it on the YouTube. Of course, he says that, who rules over Eurasia rules over the whole world. So the aim is to rule over the Eurasian continent. And for the Americans to rule over Eurasia, of course, is what? Divide and rule. Because if Eurasia is united, Americans can never rule it. So the aim is what? The aim is always to divide and rule. Specifically, making sure that Russia and Germany will not unite, will not find peace, will not find union. Dividing Russia from Germany. That is important for American geopolitical racist logic. And Iran is the other so-called, I don't know how he calls it in the book. In German translation, he talks about Dreh- und Angelpunkte, like some geopolitical, very important regions where the shit is going down, which include specifically Ukraine and, of course, Iran. So practically the aim, the West on the white aim is to crack down on Iran in order to then to have direct to encircle Russia, and to crack down on Russia next, and or all at the same time. What we are seeing now happening, but we are seeing it happening over the decades. It's nothing new, but now the shit is going down heavily, because everybody sees that this capitalistic system is very bad. More and more people in poverty, only a few people getting very rich. Like, it's not that we lack money. Money is always more and more. Like, money is growing, but who has it in their pockets? We see that the few multi-billionaires are running everything. Like, it's not normal, huh? I don't think it's normal. Like, how can one human being own hundreds of billions of euro or dollar or whatever it is? This thing of ownership, like owning hundreds of billions of euro, like one human being, where is the sense? What's the sense? And then that person can, use this money to do whatever, to influence, of course, the politics, to influence the politics and to run the game. Because if I have hundreds of billions of dollars, of course I'll rule. I'm gonna rule. It's a lot of money. So those very rich people, why do we accept them? Of course. So of course the industry tries to keep us in line, so that we keep complying and accepting this status quo. Of course we should not, because whoever loves life should rebel. Is normal. To accept this status quo means to accept a very, very unjust and toxic and murderous reality. Murderous for us human beings, and of course for nature, for animals and plants. And we see the climate disaster is very real. Very real. So climate justice is a must. Climate justice can never exist in a racist world. So deconstructing racism is a must. Deconstructing the sexism and the patriarchy is a must, because those things are all hanging together. Of course, it's all one system. So we cannot deconstruct one without the other. That is why in the last video I said, how can I trust when us Europeans here in the West, we are raising LGBTQ flags, rainbow flags, while at the same time we are continuing racist colonial genocide. It just doesn't work. It just does not work. So it means it's a fake. Because as Angela Davis said and says, feminism is either anti-racist or it is not, or it's nothing. So standing for LGBTQ rights, while we are at the same time pushing, enhancing, protecting genocide, racist colonial apartheid, it's fake. Varoufakis was invited at this conference in Germany, and he was also blocked from speaking. So in 2 days from here, I think, yes, in 2 days from here, on his platform, DM, what is it called? DM, Google him, Varoufakis and DM. They are hosting now another talk, on the situation, because Varoufakis was blocked from speaking at the conference in Berlin. I repeat, 2024, activists want to hold a conference against the genocide, for the human rights, for, global justice, and the German police cracks down on it and arrests people, also Jewish people, Jewish activists standing against genocide are being arrested by German police in 2024. Let's speak about it everywhere, also in the schools. Whoever is young here and listens and is still a student, man, take it to your teachers, you know. Call out the teachers on it, because as we know, many people here are very complicit. Also, the media will not speak about it. A lot of teachers, you know, they will be derailing. A lot of people don't know much. They don't have information. So they are, let's say, ignorant. But the ignorance is very complicit. It is ignorance that is not innocent. It's a type of ignorance that is not innocent, but it's an ignorance that is very complicit, and it's very, how does one say, functional. This type of ignorance is very functional to uphold power, to uphold negative power, violent power, specifically white power, racist power, and of course then also patriarchy, because it always hangs together. So this type of ignorance, okay, if we want to call it white ignorance, who has written on it is Charles W. Mills. May he reside in power and peace. Charles W. Mills wrote about it. His essays are online to be found in PDF for free. Just Google white ignorance or white global ignorance, Charles W. Mills. Interesting to read about it, to check on it, because of course, if we don't know, if we don't have information, of course, it's a real thing, you know, people really don't have information. Of course not, because the media does not give us information. Imagine people who can only speak German language and only understand German language, and are seriously depending on dominant German media. Man, you're doomed. Your brain is doomed, because if you're only listening to German media, dominant media, like you're not on social media, you don't, or even on social media, you don't get alternative perspectives. You only get, let's say, Western German perspectives or Western perspectives, and you don't have access to other type of perspectives. You're gonna have that perspective as your own. There is a lot of ignorance, because you will believe what this dominant perspective tells you. So, of course, you will be reproducing this same system. As we know, as white Westerners, we are the minority in this world, but we are a very powerful minority, and I mean power also here in a negative sense, you know, so-called white supremacy, which is power, economic power, geopolitical power, played out very negatively. As we see very concretely today in the genocide against Palestine, and as we can see in other places in the world, where the neocolonial reality is cracking down on human beings in a very heavy and very apocalyptic way. In the last video, I talked about this term apocalypse, you know. I quoted an interesting quote. You can go on there and check, because it's interesting, you know, that we are if we go to the dominant church, they will always tell us that the apocalypse is going to come later on. It's gonna come, but a lot of people in the so-called global south are living through apocalypse for a long time, you know, like hundreds of years or so. Apocalyptic waves. Yeah, man. Genocide in Palestine, we have to stop it. Further escalation of World War III, have to stop it. The white Wild West, we have to deconstruct it. I'm also thinking of Haiti. Please, if you have any resources to check, if you know a little English and all, check on what is happening in Haiti. Neo-colonial reality, and a lot of disaster that is standing in the context of over 200 years more than 200 years, several hundred years of liberation struggle, and more than 200 years of very heavy crackdown of the white Wild West onto Haiti. Very much colonial violence hitting Haiti for over 200 years. Checking on the history is I think, very interesting and also very important. Seeing that in Haiti, the liberated people, the people who liberated themselves from racist apartheid system, back then, was it 1804? They gave themselves a constitution as a democratic republic, anti-racist constitution, the first anti-racist constitution ever of any nation on this planet. The black liberated people of Haiti, who liberated themselves, gave themselves a democratic republican constitution, anti-racist constitution. And therefore, they were hit heavily by the white Wild West, and so it continues up to today. So we have to check on that, because of course it all connects. By the way, I love my family. Now, big shout out to my princess, the elder, who yesterday showed me the opera, the video of Hamilton. I hadn't seen it before. She introduced me to some of the songs, but yesterday we watched it on video, and man, I had not seen it before, but it was good to see it. That's it for today. Peace and justice. Liberation is a must. I love you, Love is a must. Love will conquer. Yeah, peace.